English isn't hard. You are. I know, that sounds harsh, but in the next 14 minutes, I'm gonna prove it. And by the end, you'll know exactly why you've been stuck and how to fix it. Starting today, let's do this. So here's what happened to me. I studied Spanish for 4 years. 4 years. High school, college, textbooks, flashcards, the whole thing. And you know what? I couldn't order food at a Mexican restaurant. 4 years and I was useless. But then something clicked. And in 6 months, I was having full conversations. What changed? Not my brain, not my talent, my method. And you know when I figured this out? Morning, 6 a.m., before work, before distractions, before my brain had time to make excuses. That's when everything changed. Because mornings, that's when your brain is hungry, fresh, ready to absorb. And that's what I want to talk about today. Because most of you are learning English the wrong way. Not because you're lazy, not because you're stupid, but because someone lied to you. They told you English is hard. They told you you need years. They told you grammar comes first. All lies. Let me ask you something. When you were a baby, did you study grammar before speaking? Number. You listened. You copied. You made mistakes. And you got better. That's it. That's the formula. But somewhere, someone convinced you that adults learn differently, that you need rules and exceptions and conjugations and all this nonsense. And now you're stuck, knowing the rules, but frozen when it's time to speak. Okay, real talk moment. If you've been learning English for more than a year and you still can't have a basic conversation, it's not the language, it's your approach. Comment guilty if that's you. No judgment, just honesty. Because if we don't admit the problem, we can't fix it. All right, so what's the real problem? Three things. And I'm going to break them down one by one. Problem number one, you're translating in your head. Every time you want to say something, you think it in your language first. Then you translate word by word. And by the time you finish translating, the conversation moved on. This is killing your fluency because English doesn't work like your language. Word order is different. Expressions are different. You can't just swap words and expect it to work. Here's what you should do instead. Think in English. But Mark, I can't think in English yet. Yes, you can. Start small. Right now. Look around. What do you see? A chair, a window, a phone. Say it in English. I see a chair. The window is open. My phone is black. Simple sentences, no translation. Just direct English. Do this every single day, and in 2 weeks, you'll notice the translation disappears. Problem number 2, you're studying English, not using it. Let me guess. You watch videos, you do exercises, you read articles. But when's the last time you actually spoke out loud for more than 30 seconds? Exactly, you're learning like it's a math class. But English isn't math. It's a skill, like swimming. You don't learn swimming by reading books about swimming. You get in the water. Same with English, you gotta use it. Even if nobody's listening, talk to yourself, describe your day, argue with yourself about what to eat for lunch. Sound crazy? Maybe, but it works. And problem number 3, you're waiting to be ready. I'll speak when my grammar is perfect. I'll practice when I know more words. I'll try when I'm confident. Stop. You'll never be ready. Because confidence doesn't come before action. It comes after. You don't feel confident. And then speak. You speak, make mistakes, and then feel confident. That's the order, always. Let me tell you about my student Maria. She studied English for 8 years. 8. Could write perfect essays, aced every grammar test. But in conversation, silence, total freeze. Why? Fear. She was terrified of making mistakes. So I gave her one challenge. Speak English and for 5 minutes a day to herself, in the mirror, about anything. No rules, no correction, just flow. Week 1, painful. She hated it. Week 2, a little easier. Week 4, she sent me a voice message. 3 minutes, no, fluent, natural, confident. What changed? She stopped waiting for permission. She just started. Now, here's the thing. I'm not saying grammar doesn't matter. It does. But not at the beginning. Grammar comes later, after you can speak. Think about it. Kids speak years before they learn grammar. They say I goed instead of I went. And you know what? Everyone understands them. They communicate. And then they learn the rules. You should do the same thing. Speak first, fix later. Okay, let's talk about energy, because here's something nobody tells you. Your energy level affects your learning. If you study English when you're tired, your brain retains nothing. But if you study when you're energized, everything sticks. That's why I'm calling this morning motivation. Because mornings are power hours. Your brain is fresh. Your focus is sharp. This is when you should practice. Not at midnight, after a long day, when you can barely keep your eyes open. Morning, even just 10 minutes, will beat an hour of tired studying. So here's your action plan. Starting tomorrow morning, wake up, open your eyes, And for the first 10 minutes of your day, speak English out loud. Doesn't matter what. Talk about your dream, your plans for the day, what you're gonna eat. Anything. Just English first thing before your brain switches to your language. Do this for 30 days. And I promise you, you'll see a massive difference. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. But Mark, I don't have time in the morning. Yes, you do. You have time to scroll social media. You have time to check messages. You have time for 10 minutes of English. You just haven't made it a priority. And that's fine. But don't say you don't have time. Say you're choosing something else. Be honest with yourself. And here's another thing. Stop comparing yourself to others. That guy learned English in 6 months. Good for him. You're not him. You have a different brain, a different schedule, a different starting point. Your journey is yours, not anyone else's. Some people learn faster, some learn slower. Who cares? The only question is, are you better today than you were yesterday? That's it. That's the only comparison. That matters. Let me tell you what English really is. It's not a subject. It's not a test. It's a tool. A tool to connect, to share ideas, to make friends, to watch movies without subtitles, to travel without fear, to get better jobs. English opens doors, but only if you actually use it, not just study it. And here's the beautiful part. You don't need to be perfect. Native speakers, they make mistakes all the time. They say like every other word. They forget vocabulary, that they mispronounce things. And nobody cares because communication isn't about perfection. It's about connection. If people understand you, you win. That's it. That's the goal. Not perfect grammar, not zero mistakes, just clear communication. All right, final challenge. Right now. Yes, right now. Say one sentence in English, out loud, about what you learned in this video. Go ahead. I'll wait. Did you do it? If you did, comment I spoke. If you didn't, comment I'm scared. No shame either way, but I want to know who's actually doing this and who's just watching. Because here's the truth. You can watch 1,000 videos. You can read 100 books. But if you never speak, you'll never improve. Knowledge without action is worthless. So stop watching, start doing. This is English Flow. I'm Mark, and I need you to hear this. English isn't hard, you're just using the wrong method. Change the method, change the result. It's that simple. Tomorrow morning, 10 minutes, English only, out loud. Make it happen. And when you do, come back here and let me know. I'll be watching the comments. Now go. Stop waiting. Start speaking. See you tomorrow.